My name is Hanh. I never changed my name. That's the name that my parents gave me. Actually, it's a long name in Vietnamese. It's Hoang Thị Mỹ Hanh, which became quite problematic when you start filling a lot of paperwork. So I kind of cut it short a bit. When I arrived in England, I further study at university until 1987, and I worked briefly at Bournemouth University for 1 year, and then I moved on to work for JP Morgan as a graduate trainee. And I stayed there for 28 years. And when I left, I was acting in the capacity of the technology development manager. And I left 5 years ago to spend more time with my children. And at the moment, I'm just enjoying my free time. I left Vietnam just a few years after the war, when the North and the South were united. There were a lot of changes. Some changes were perhaps a lot more comfortable for the people in the South. There were quite a few uncertainties of what's happening, and there were movements of people leaving the country for fear of persecution. We started boat trips in South Vietnam, and we were supposed to be heading to the nearest land like Malaysia or Singapore. Unfortunately, we got attacked by pirates, and the first time it was fine. The second time we lost our boat, and we actually, through the struggle, managed to overcome and got their boat. And then the boat got broken. So we drifted in the sea or the ocean for a further 17 days until we got rescued by a British South tanker. She was on its way to Australia, to Darwin, Australia, to deliver oil. So we landed in Darwin and stayed there for 2 months before we got settled to the UK. Cold, wet, and grey. People are extremely kind. You know, I hear a lot of stories about refugees. I hear, now the media, you feel that there's a lot of negativity about refugees nowadays. But when we first arrived in England, people were so kind. And I don't think ever since 40 years in England, I never experienced anything that would, quote unquote, be racist. We were under Save the Children Fund, so Save the Children Fund, obviously we had somewhere to stay. We were fed, we were given basic things like clothing, and I remember we used to get pocket money, and so we had about £5 a week, and that £5 was just enough to send a telegram home, because at the time in 1980s, the only quick communication to Vietnam was telegram. If you send a letter, it would take 8 months. So a telegram, you have to be very careful to put words in there, so it wouldn't cost so much. But it was £5 a week we were given, and we had teachers coming into the center to help teaching English. So we have English classes, and they have sort of like places where we play, and we play a lot of ping pong. There was a ping pong table. So, and then excursion. I was also given a few courses studying in sort of a proper English for foreigners school, the Bells College. So we used to go to the Bells College to improve our English language. The people around area,
sometimes took us in, they cook us lunch, invite us to lunch and things like that. So kind of we were invited to mix in the local, and also in the center, if we have any, they have staff there. If you have any problems, you can talk to them. So I think in terms of making sure that we were looked after, we were quite well looked after. We didn't feel any kind of neglect or anything. There was people nearby. There was social workers that come and visit. There was, the social worker within a center. There were interpreters for people who couldn't speak the language. So that was pretty good. I think a lot of people could have done very well, given a little bit more guidance in terms of education, further studying, or finding opportunities. I think when we were settled into the community, a lot of us got jobs through our own network. So I got a job in the refugee center because I was friends with somebody who's actually said, "Hey, Hanh, there's this job. Do you want to apply for it?" And it's the same with some friends. So it was through our own internal network that we did that. I think otherwise we would just be on our own, and to carry on with further education was the same. I had to find that information out through friends who would say, "Actually, if you want to do this, people who've been here before, this is what you should do." So I think, because I was so focused, I went through that route and I wouldn't give up. But for other people, it would be, they might get really kind of confused and not knowing what to do. And, it's such a waste opportunity if there are opportunity around there to help them with either jobs or education. Because I think the first step is done. The first step is to make sure that they're safe and they are housed, they get fed. That's done. But the next step is actually to thrive in their life, not to just okay, we survived, that's it,
Be true to yourself. Embrace your identity. And when I say identity, I don't mean Vietnamese or English or anything. Identity is who you are as you are, the combination of different culture, the experiences, and to me, identity is as unique as a DNA. It's only unique to you. So I just want to stay away from all that kind of identity politics, because that's another thing. But be true to yourself and embrace your identity, and be confident. And also, life is tough. Life is really tough, and you just don't give up. You just have to, just move forward.